The other topic I wanted to talk about today, it's something I bring up a lot, but this got quote tweeted onto my timeline. I love how fighting games are like, here is a $60 game, right? And from here, you also have to pay for every single DLC character, which is usually like a $20 or $25 season pass for 4 characters or so, and like a stage or 2 or something like that, which will amount to $100+ by the end of the life cycle, not including cosmetics. If you think about a game like Street Fighter V, right? You buy Street Fighter V for $60, and then they did 5 seasons. And I believe the first 4 were full, and then like the 5th one was like a few characters or something, right? From my memory. And I think each one was like 20 or $25. That's basically the model that fighting games have now. Full price game into multi-season passes, which is hilarious because this response, fighting games being live service games are the worst thing of all time. And then the follow-up being, ain't that the truth? It's the opposite, actually, right? It's not really like what live service games are like. Live service games generally are free, a lot of them anyway, right? You think about Street Fighter, it's a competitive game and gets updated and has seasonal passes, whatever. Like Marvel Rivals is free. You get the new characters and new costumes and like all that stuff. Like everything comes out. It's all free. Overwatch is free now, isn't it? Apex Legends and Valorant and Dota and League of Legends, all of these games, right? Like there's like a ton of them, right? That are free to play. So many of the popular games that are in this exact wheelhouse of competitive online video game. It is by far the most expensive one. Like I played League of Legends. What a season is it now? Like 15 or some 20 something. Like, well, I don't know what season it is, but I played League of Legends like 2 days ago or something. And, you know, there's new updates to everything and new stuff and all this new content and new items and whatever. And like, I didn't buy any of that. So fighting games are like the most expensive version of this model. And they really are not even like live service games for real, for real. They're like kind of halfway there. I don't know how else to describe it, right? Like Street Fighter, it like LARPs as a live service game almost. Like it's full price and it has like the season passes, but it does have like some monthly battle passes and other content and stuff, but it's not really like a live service game. But it is interesting because the reason this ended up on my timeline, what somebody quoted and said, yeah, honestly, I prefer this over how it was before. Because if you guys didn't know, when you bought Street Fighter 4, you had the vanilla version of Street Fighter 4, right? This is the box. And you bought Street Fighter 4 vanilla. Cool. Then, like a year later, it was like 2010 or whatever, they sold you a new box. They were like, all right, cool. You bought this game. Neat. We have like 5 more characters or however many it was. And you bought this box. You bought Super. So now I'm like, okay, I paid for another new game. And then there was this box, Arcade Edition. This is AE, right? And Arcade Edition had an update called AE 2012, which you could get. And then there was the last one, which you purchased, which this is the final version of the game that had all the updates and it had version select in it, which was very cool, which was Ultra. So before, you were like buying new versions each time. And it's not like, oh, well, the game upgraded from vanilla to super. I can just play the upgrade and not get the characters by playing for free, right? Which is how like modern games are. It's not like that. You like buy this game and then if you want super, you need to buy super. And if you want to play AE, you gotta like upgrade and buy AE. And if you want to play Ultra, you know what I mean? So that was kind of like how it was before. Now is better. If you purchased Street Fighter 6 when it came out, you can boot it up right now, and it's about to be on season 3 and release its first season 3 character, and just play the game against people who have bought 3 seasons of content, spent another $60, like the cost of the game on 3 seasons of content. You can just play against those players and it doesn't matter. You can just buy a single character or like a single pass or whatever you want. But it's definitely pretty expensive. It's a pretty costly thing to get into fighting games as an ecosystem. Street Fighter 6, right now it's on sale. It's $40. You can buy it, and there's a bundle that you can get for $60. You can get season 1 and season 2 right now. But a la carte, the year 2 character pass is $29.99. I assume the year 3 character pass will be $29.99. So that's $150 for the first 3 seasons of the game. And that's to add an additional 12 characters. It is expensive. Real live service games, like for real live service games, to like keep up with content generally, besides like things like card games maybe or something, none of them cost money really. Like you can just unlock the new content as it comes out and it doesn't cost you anything. And the only thing you really need to buy are like cosmetics, right? Otherwise you can just like keep up with the release cadence for the most part by just playing them. The ones I play anyway. Yeah, I don't play a lot of gacha games. Gachas are meant to make you spend money on them though. So they're like the opposite of these games. This is part of why 2XKO I think will be really interesting for the market. That shit is going to cost $0, which is a pretty big investment. I'm sure all of you, like a lot of you, right? There's a game out right now called Peak. And Peak is what you in the chat would call friend slop, right? Or streamer slop, like games where You and your friends want to try it, and it's like, oh, that looks really fun. We should play this game, guys. Like, why don't we all play this game together? It's $7.99. All of you have tried to tell your friend, yo, we should play this new game. It looks really fun. It's called Lethal Company. Or we should play this new game, Among Us. Or we should play whatever. And that shit is like $9. And your friend's like, I ain't playing that shit. $9? I'm not spending money on a game, bro. Repo's $15? I'm not going to get that. I'll play Horse Slop. It's free. Your friend won't buy Peak for $8. But your friend will boot up Valorant and buy an $80 bundle because the new skin shoots fire out of it. Why is it like that? I don't know, but like, you know, this is the power of having free to play. And it's the power that I think 2xK will have over a lot of people. The game's free. You can get anybody to try it and you can play with your friend cooperatively. But do fighting game fans like that? Free to play game that only has cosmetics and the cosmetics come out constantly versus the model we have now. I'm curious to see how fighting game fans take it. Are fighting game fans gonna try 2xKO and then be like, dude, this skin is $40. Like they're trying to sell me a $40 skin. These guys are clowns, right? When they're playing the game for free. It's going to be so interesting to see fighting game players tangle with the difference. I play all kinds of games. You guys know I play lots of non-fighting game stuff. So I see that kind of stuff. It's everywhere. There's so many expensive cosmetics available for so many different games. Fighting game players who like don't dabble with other things or like see it for the first time in a fighting game is going to be really fun. Yeah, I mean, League of Legends has $500 Ari skin as we speak. What's that guy's name? Nadeshot is popping open cases in CSGO to try to get a fancy knife. Spending tens of thousands of dollars trying to buy an expensive knife. And that shit is blatant gambling. You know, it's up to you how you want to engage with that kind of a stuff. Like obviously for me, I have no interest and no point, and it doesn't matter to me at all. In games I like, I'm happy to buy cosmetics. But yeah, there's definitely levels to it. And when 2xKO comes out, the legendary skin's $50 or whatever, it's going to be so fascinating to see people tangle with it, especially because they have no effect on gameplay, right? They're just purely cosmetic. But the idea of spending that much on a skin, people are going to freak out. Because, I mean, if you're a Street Fighter player and you own Season 1 and Season 2, you have spent $120 on the game. So if you are playing 2xKO for $0 and you bought a $50 skin, you are still in for less than a Street Fighter player because they don't even own the game yet, which is wild to think about. The monetization differences are wild. And like, it's not to say one is better or worse than the other, you know? Like, I think a lot of people prefer just buying a box game and then getting stuff for forever. I buy this, I own this, I buy season passes, I own this, I'm done. There's no like rotating FOMO shop thing, or like I don't have to worry about whatever the issues that you have with free-to-play games are, you know. It's just so fascinating. Yeah, I mean, the pace that Capcom puts out content cannot support a free-to-play game. To have a free-to-play game, you need to constantly have new battle passes filled with stuff that people care about to make them want to buy it, and then new skins, and then new content to keep people relogging into the game and then wanting to play the game often, right? Because like they have high player retention, but they don't have the content cadence to support. It feels weird. Like, it definitely feels like Street Fighter 5 tried this and then Street Fighter 6 tried this. It's like halfway between a free-to-play game and a box game, but they like charge you full price for everything. Yeah, I don't think Street Fighter 6 is a bad purchase either. I think like the other games charging the same price becomes the more questionable thing rather than Street Fighter's price. Street Fighter being $60, they release a game that's got a lot of stuff, right? I think that for most fighting games, $60 is unless you're like a fan, people like us who are, if you're in this chat, this probably applies to you. People who will legitimately spend thousands of hours playing the game. Like that kind of person, you know, $60 is like a pretty easy justification. I'm so curious about that for 2xK. Free to play is so important. It's like such an easy sell. I'm telling you, this look at this game right here, this Peak game, $7.99, and this is guaranteed some friend group as we speak in the Discord right now. Somebody's like, yo, you trying to play Peak? And somebody's like, nah, I don't want to buy it, man. I'm cool. Like, I don't want to pay for it. There's someone right now. So if that's happening with this, where do you think they stand on like $60 games, right? It's happening to somebody in the chat room right now. Wait, somebody in the chat room right now. If your friends have tried to get you to play a game with them and you've been like, nah, I'm cool, I don't want to buy it, and it's been under $20, post caught. I mean, point taken now. When Tuco is $0, I think this is gonna have a pretty big impact. That is hard to underestimate, you know? You can download that shit and be like, this is ass, and then come back a year later for free. It costs you nothing. Be like, oh, bet. You know, that shit is like hard to beat that.